Can't do that, sorry.
You what? I think I started at 4:30.
Okay, we got some homework questions. I'm going to go over them. I finally got my folders working again. So we're going to go over those. And I got several. So we'll go over those and then we'll go over the test. I've already uploaded the test. So you should be able to pull up the test. We'll go over it in just a few minutes. All right, so we've got 2.3 61/23.
Wait, let me go to that question. Round 2.3? Somebody else.
Okay, it says the table gives the quantity of tortoiseshell hairpins demanded and the quantity supplied for the selected price. Find the linear equation that gives the price. Now, make sure when you see these questions on a test, and this is a test question, when you see this question, you highlight linear equation because you can pull some of these and you can pull out the logarithmic equation, the exponential equation, the parabolic equation. So when you do use Excel spreadsheet, make sure you hit linear. It defaults to linear, but make sure that you... Now later on, we're going to be getting in the parabolic and the exponential and the logarithmic. But anyway, so click on to your handy dandy table and open an Excel. That's what I'm going to do because it's easier to show on the screen. And I think we went over this the other day. I don't understand why y'all didn't understand it. And go ahead and copy or highlight, then insert, and it should give you a line graph like that.
I don't know how to do that on my calculator.
Okay. Now, what is the long way of doing it? If you don't know how to use an Excel spreadsheet and you don't know how to graph on the graphing calculator, you're going to have to what? You're going to have to find each one of these, and you're going to have to use the what? The slope and the point slope what? Equation. So if you needed to do it by hand, this is correct. And this is your y sub 1, and this is your y sub 2, meaning that you have two sets of points. So if you wanted to find the slope of the first line, which is the orange line, I'll do it in orange. You would have to pick 2 points, and I'm just going to pick 20, 500, and 30, and 460. And then slope is equal to delta y over delta x. And that's going to be 460 minus, let's see, did I write that down right?
Yeah.
Okay, that must be the blue line. I did it in blue. Hold on. Let me change that to blue.
God bless you.
20, no more sneezing. 500, and then 30, and 460. And then m is equal to delta y over delta x. And that's going to be 460 minus 500 over 30 minus 20, which is equal to 460 minus is negative 40 over what? 10, which is equal to negative 4. So that's your slope. And then that's going to be y minus 500 is equal to 4 times x minus 20. Y minus 500, or y is equal to 4x minus 80 plus 500. And then you come out with y is equal to 4x. Y is equal to 4x. And what is negative 80? Oh, that's a negative 4, sorry. Negative 4 plus 80. Negative 4x plus 80. So that's going to be negative 480 4x plus 580.
Okay, that's what
You could do that by hand if you want to, or you could utilize technology and use your calculator or use the Excel spreadsheet. Right click on the blue line if you're using the Excel spreadsheet. Well, there we go. And add trend line and make sure you hit linear and then display. And there you go. All right, now you do the orange line. Do it by hand, so at least you'll have one way that you can do it. If you can't do it by computer or by calculator, at least you can do it by hand. So pick 2 points. I'll pick 2 points for you in orange, and we'll do 20 and 0 and 30 and 160. Okay, find the slope and then find the equation of the line. Now, after you find the equation of the two lines, what do you do to find out where they intersect? There's several ways. What can you do? What? Set them equal to each other. What else? Elimination or substitution. Now, you can do it on the graph, but the graph is on here is not going to give you the intersection, so you have to use your calculator to find the intersection. And you can do that also. I'm fine with whichever method you want to do. But I'm just showing by hand, I'm doing that because some of you may like to do it by hand. So M is equal to 60 minus 0 over 30 minus 20. That's going to be 160 over 10, which is equal to 16. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we've got y minus 0 is equal to 16 times x minus 20. And that's going to be y is equal to 16x minus what? 320? 320. And now you click on the orange line. And right click on it. Add trend line. And go down and display, and that should equal what we got. Okay, now set those two equal to each other and solve. And these, like I said, are the same things you're going to be doing in calculus when we're finding the area between two curves when you get into 130 next semester. Four x plus 580 is equal to 16x minus 320. Little bucket is right here, so I'm going to take it over. So that's minus 4x.
Isn't it negative 4x?
Thank you. Is it negative 4x?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's going to be a positive 4x. Thank you for the interaction. So that's going to be 20x minus 320. Take that across the river. 320. And that's going to be what? Dang old 900. 900 is equal to 20x. Divide by 20. Divide by 20.
45.
Okay, that's fine. I thought I did something up here. 45 is equal to x. So our x is 45. Plug it back in to anyone you want to. Doesn't matter. You plug it into this one. I'd plug it probably into this one because it's a whole lot easier. So y is equal to -4 times 45 plus 580. And -4 times 45 is going to be -180. Somebody check me.
Yeah, that's right.
-180 plus 580, dang old 400. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So your intersection point is right at 45, comma 400. 45, comma 400. That is also called the point of elasticity. Okay, we're going to talk about that in calculus. You're going to get to a point to where the demand and the supply intersect. And at that point, that's called elasticity, where you have a little bit of wiggle room to how much you can offer and how much you can supply. I mean, how much you pay and how much you supply. So, and we get into that, especially with the curve lines, with the logarithmic and the exponential lines, the curves, which what they're doing, you very rarely are going to have straight lines. Most of the time, they're going to be logarithmic or exponential because they're in the first quadrant, which if you're in business, do you want to stay in the first quadrant? Yes. Why?
I don't know.
Because the first quadrant is all what?
Cost.
First quadrant, this right here. You want to stay in here. Why? In business, you want to stay what?
Positive.
Okay? Negative means what? You're losing money. So why do you want to stay in this quadrant? Well, logarithmic and exponentials, they stay in this quadrant pretty much. So most of your business classes are going to stay in the first quadrant, hopefully. If you're in the other quadrants, that means you're doing something wrong as far as the business aspect. And that's basically how you work this problem. Now, what they ask, they probably ask for the intersection. They probably ask for the equation. I don't know. You write all that down, and let's see what they ask, because I have no idea what they're asking. Let's see.
They asked for the line, but
Where's it wrong? Where's your right?
Okay. Well, right there, let's see what it says, because I pulled up the same thing that
Let him do it.
So let's see what they.
I didn't. Go me. I'm driving.
All right, here's the question. It says, find the. Let me move some of this around. Well, I'm not going to be able to move any of it because it's all separate. Oh, there we go. Move that around a little bit. It says, find the linear equation that gives the price of the function of quantity demanded and supplied. So we did that. One is, let's see, demand is blue. So that's demand. Y is equal to -4x, blah, blah, blah. Now, I didn't do x, and I didn't do so P is equal to, did they use x, or what do they use? Q. So it's going to be -4q plus 580. So you type in -4q,
That's 2 times.
if I could get there, -4q plus 580.
Yeah, that much more wrong every time. Yeah. That's why I sent it in, because I put it.
What do they say the answer is?
That's the question.
It's like.
Okay, so Excel is wrong, and I'm wrong. Okay. I have no idea how I could be wrong and Excel could be wrong at the same time. Did I miss something, or did I get the same thing that Excel got?
That's what I've got every time, and every time it works me wrong.
No, I think something's wrong with the problem, because if Excel had -1/4 plus 580, then I'd say that I did something wrong, but I did exactly the way you're supposed to do it if I could move the freaking thing over. There. Mine is y is equal to 16x minus 320 and -4x plus 580. So I would go with my answer. I have no idea how they got that answer. But if you really want to know the truth about it, I don't know how they got the -1/4. So Let's just chalk that up as a problem with the problem. I don't know how to answer that. What I'll do is I'll make you, I can't take it off because people have already started the homework there, but I can give you points for the problem. So what I'll do is after the test is over, I'll give everybody a point for this one, or give everybody homework points for this one, because that's not right. I'll be anxious to see if they get the next one right. Let's see what 16x minus 16x
Oh, it's wrong. Oh, it's wrong too. I've done it.
16q, is it 16 what? Q?
Yes, sir.
I don't really care about that, but they do. 16q minus 320. Well, oh, I got a little dash right there. Maybe that'll.
Well, at least I don't feel so stupid anymore.
Yeah. No, I don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing, because as far as I'm concerned, in algebra, when you're trying to find an equation, you take the x and the y and the x and the y, and you do exactly what I've done, and Excel did the same thing. So I'm going to have to check on this problem, because I don't think the problem is correct. I think the problem is wrong. What is the market equilibrium price? It should be $45. What do we say, 45?
Mm-hmm. How is that right?
That can't be right. They've got this wrong. Okay, they've got this wrong. You can't have this and this incorrect and get this right. No, that's wrong. That question is wrong. Keep doing it just like you would do it if it was an algebra problem. If you want to find the equation of line between 2 points, you take the x and the y, and you do just like that. You do 20 and 160, 30 and 320 or whatever, and you do that. Where'd my 0 go? Didn't I have a 0 in mine?
Yeah, it's the top. It's just
Where is the 0? Oh, there it is, right there.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So 20 and 0 and 30 and 160. So I don't know what they're doing, but I know that our answer is correct with their answer, and there's no way, I don't think. Now somebody could, I don't know, you might be able to graph these two and see if the intersection point is 45, and that's a coincidence if it is, but I don't know how they get in the negative 1/4 and the negative, unless they're doing perpendicular. It wouldn't even be perpendicular, because the perpendicular would be 1/4, not negative 1/4. So I have no idea what they're doing. All I know is to find a linear equation, you use the point-slope equation.
there was one that was
Let me see what they do and explain this, and see if they follow the same thing I did.
I did 4 similar questions, and I did all wrong. I kept doing.
Let's see if they use the same formula. What does that say? Slope and P is the intercept. They're graphing. There it is. And they're doing it by the calculator. Yeah. So somebody type in the calculator. Has anybody got these points typed in? The points right here.
I do.
Okay, what did you get when you type linear regression? When you hit the linear regression key, what do you get? Do you get y is equal to 4x plus 580? Or do you get m is equal to negative 4?
I get negative 4x plus 580.
Okay, and what did you get on the orange line?
The same as that one.
Okay, you're doing it right. The question's wrong.
Okay.
Let's see if another question is like that. That's probably the one everybody sent in. And that does happen. Every now and again it happens, not very often. Let's see if this is the same one. 61, no. This is 2.411/5. 2.411/5. Solve the inequality both algebraically and graphically. Draw a number line of the solution and give interval notation. Okay, first of all, let's solve it algebraically. So, 1.6x minus 3.4. 1 minus 2.4x. So this is our smallest bucket. So we're going to move it across the river. And that'd be 2.4x. And that's going to give us what? 4? 4x minus 3.4 is greater than or equal to 1. 3.4 goes across the river. And 4x is greater than or equal to 4.4 divided by 4. I got x is greater than or equal to 1.1.
Oh, I know what I did.
Now, let's graph that. Graph it on a number line. And then we're going to write it in set builder notation, and we're going to write it in interval notation. So go ahead and graph it on a number line. What kind of circle are we going to use? Open or closed?
Closed.
Closed. Why is it going to be closed?
Equal to.
It's equal to. Good.
I know what I did now.
This is called negative infinity. This area here is called positive infinity.
Instead of.
So 1.1 is going to have, and I'm going to use blue. I'm going to use 1.1, and I'm going to put a dot, a closed circle right there. No more sneezing. And now I'm going to take my handy dandy blue highlighter, and I'm going to, what numbers are above 1.1? Everything to the what?
Right.
You want to shade that. So we've got positive infinity shaded. That means positive infinity is going to be in our interval notation. Now, set builder notation is pretty simple. You just rewrite the problem, the answer, x greater than or equal to 1.1, and then you put an x. I'm going to do this in different colors so you see that that's the only difference. I'm going to do it, I don't like red. Do it in green for day. X such that, and then you put 2 braces on it. That's set builder notation. So you need to write that down for those that can't remember. Set builder notation.
Wouldn't the other one be a parenthesis? Like one of them be a parenthesis?
No, we haven't got there yet. You're thinking about interval notation. But thank you for the interaction. That's good. Thank you. These are braces. These aren't parentheses. These are braces. I never have been able to draw braces. Ever since I was a kid, I never have been able to draw them. Okay, now interval notation, and yes, one of them will be parentheses. Which one? Well, let me go over interval notation. Which way do we all read?
Left to right.
Left to right. So let's go along this. Let's go along this line. Where do we hit our dot? Boom. We hit the dot at 1. Where does it end? Positive infinity. All infinities always get what? A parenthesis, because you cannot tell me what infinity is. I'll give you a $100 bill. Somebody, right now, somebody tell me what number represents infinity. Can. All right. Since we have a closed circle on 1, which means it's inclusive of 1, then we get a what on this side? A bracket. Set builder notation, interval notation, graph. That's what you should do on all inequalities. On all inequalities, you should solve, you should graph on a number line, then you should write set builder notation, and then you should write interval notation. And if you can do those 4 things, then you've got inequalities down pat. Who's got a question? All right, so let's see if we at least get this one right. At least see if the question is right. The solution is, let's see, it probably, I don't know if it wants, I think probably wants x is greater than or equal to 1.1. Yep. Okay, we got this one right. We know what we're doing on this one. All right, interval notation is bracket 1.1. Sorry, that's supposed to be 1.1 to infinity and beyond. Okay, make a note. I was supposed to put a 1.1 there. I'm sorry. And which one is it? Well, let's see. We got to find a bracket on 1.1. So I'm going to erase the board right now. Okay, now let's talk about which one it's not. Let's say that you're totally confused and you have no idea. Well, you know that it's going to be a bracket. So this one's not it. This one's not it. Let's see. All the rest of them could be it. I don't see any other parentheses. All right, 1.1 to infinity. So you know negative infinity don't work. That's negative infinity. That's negative infinity. This is negative infinity. So you got your choices down to what? You got your choices down to 3. Well, it's not these two. Why? Because this is negative. Okay, that's negative. Negative ain't in our answer. Our answer is 1.1. So now we got a positive 1 there and a positive 1 there. But this is not right because this is 0.98 or something. So the only answer is what? Hotel. Yep. Most of these multiple choice ones, you can pretty much deduce which one is not and then figure out, if you look at them hard enough and you feel good about yourself. Okay? All right, that takes care of these two. Now let's look at 2.430 to see if these are in order. Nope.
I think I'm good on those now.
Well, you go, so to heck with the rest of the class. In other words, somebody might have the same question. In other words, screw them, right? It's all about you, isn't it? 2.417/7. All right, the graphs of two linear f and g are a following figure. Domains are all real numbers. Solve the equation f of x is equal to g of x. And solve the inequality f of x is less than g of x. So what is the solution for f of x is equal to g of x? That's the intersection point of 2 and what? 2 and 2. So that should be your answer there. 2 and 2. So let's see, 2 and 2. Well, eventually I'll get the right thing to hit. Well, I thought I had it. Let me hit it 2 or 3 times. Okay, is that good? All right, 2, 2. Okay, that's not correct, so I've done something wrong. What did I do wrong?
You just put 2, just like just 1, 2.
Oh, so they don't want the coordinate.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. They don't want the coordinate, they just want, okay. The solution for f of x is less than g of x. Well, let's look at the equation. Let's look. All right, f of x is right here. All right. Where is f of x less than g of x? Or what is that what it's saying? F of x is less than g of x. All right, here's g of x. Where is f of x less than g of x? Where would that be? That's not rhetorical. I'm asking y'all to interact with me.
We don't know.
Well, if you want to know the truth about it, it's not a very good question. The first part is a good question. The second part is kind of a tricky question because are they talking about x or are they talking about y? All right. What is f of x? F of x is a fancy way of writing what? Y. So technically they're saying the y on f of x is less than the y on g of x. It's kind of what they're saying. So let's just look at it in respects to y. Here is our y's right here. And this is g of x. The y's of g of x is 2, right here, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Your y's on f of x are blah, blah, blah. And they're saying, where is the y of f of x less than the y of g of x? Where is the y of f of x less than the y of g of x? So it could be right in here. But it's kind of misleading, all right? It's kind of a misleading, you're probably talking about -4 to infinity, but it's a very, let's see what they do in the, because I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to have to look at the y's if I could get the dang thing pulled up. You're going to have to look at the y's. Continue. Where is it? Okay, the set of all points, yeah, it's going to be less than. The set of all points where f of x is less than g of x is greater than 3. So it's going to be x is greater than 2 on this one. Okay, and what they're saying is x is greater than 2, x is greater than or equal to 2. So x, and it's easier when you see the answer, x is greater than 2 right here, x is greater than 2. So everything here is positive, and everything here is what? Negative. But it's in respect to your y's. See what I'm saying? It's really a yucky, that's the yucky part of the question. The first part of the question is decent. The second one is yucky because you really don't see it when you're looking at the graph. So just remember that everything is greater than 2. So if they give you that question on the test, which they won't because I won't put that on the test, I'd put the first question on the test, but not the second one, because that one is really hard to see because you're talking about in respects to y. And after you stare at it for 2 or 3 minutes, you start to understand it. I hope that helps, but that's really not a good question. The first one is, but the second one's not. Is it a test question? No. Is the first 2 test questions? Yes. And I promise I'll put a correct test question on the one that we got it wrong, but it was right. I promise you, I hopefully will not put that one on there because that one's got the right answer. Okay, we got another one that just came in, looks like. Y'all sending all these questions to put off the test. That ain't gonna work. 2.3, 49/19. 2.3, 49/19. A promoter needs to make $85,000 from the sale of 2,300 tickets. She charges $36 for some tickets and $58 for the others. If there are X, good gracious, A through E, really? Okay. First of all, you're going to have to find an equation. A promoter needs to make $85,000 from the sale of 2,300 tickets. So that means 2,300 times the price is equal to what? 85,000, Hubert. Okay, that could be it. Or she charges 36x plus 58y is going to be equal to what? 85,000. Okay? X plus y is equal to 2,300 tickets. Now, make sure you understand what I just said. All right? You've got a quantity of tickets right here. Does everybody understand that? That's a quantity. No yawning in class. Okay? So, the number of tickets, X plus Y, is going to equal what? Okay, I'm gonna start answering y'all's questions. Yeah.
2,300.
Thank you. That's the way to say it. 2,300. Where are you from? Williamston. Okay. Now, what do you do as far as the price? Well, the price is right here. That's the total. So you know that goes to the right of the equal sign. That's going to be equal to 85,000. Now, you got X and Y tickets. But now you got a price per ticket. 36 for some and 58 for what? Others. Some, others, some, others. Now, get to work. Because now you just got solving systems of equations. I don't know what they're going to ask A through, good gracious, A through D or A through E.
I could tell you what they ask.
Why don't they just ask you to find the intersection? I mean, whatever.
All right.
Go ahead and solve for it. And you can use your graphing calculator, that'll be fine. I'll just do it by hand. I think I answered 2 or 3 questions right here. I don't know.
You did.
So y is equal to negative x plus 2,300. And 36, so that's y, so 36x plus 58 times negative x plus 2,300. So that's one way you could do it with substitution. Either way, you're going to have to depend on your calculator because whether you do elimination or substitution, you're going to be dealing with yucky numbers. So you might as well just go ahead and forget it. So that's 36x minus 58x. And somebody multiply 58 times 2,300 for me.
33,400.
33,400?
133,400.
Is that what you got? Yeah. 133,400. All right, and that's going to be 36. Wait a minute, I got something. Oh, that's supposed to be equal to what? 85,000? Yeah, equal to 85,000. I left that off because I ran out of room up here. Equal to 85,000. And 36 minus 58x, what does that come out to be? Negative what? 12? What is that? Negative 22? Negative 22x. And then take the 133,000 over, and that becomes 85,000 minus 133,400. And that's negative 22x is equal to, what's 85,000 minus 133,400?
Negative 48,400.
I heard say it one more time, negative what?
48,400.
Everybody get that? Okay, now divide that. And what do you get? You're going to get a positive x is equal to what? 2,200. Everybody get that? Yes, no, maybe?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So that means that she only sold how many Y tickets? I heard,
Or
what?
100.
100. So she sold 2,200 X tickets and 100 Y tickets. All right, I don't know how many questions I've answered so far, but we have an equation for X plus Y, and then we have an equation here, and now we have the number of tickets for each one. So I think I've answered a couple of those questions. Good gosh, it seems like they're asking the same thing over and over. How much money is received from the sale of $36 each? Well, that'd be 100 tickets times $3,600 is what? I mean, 36. Okay, this is ridiculous. 100 times 36, or X. Somebody multiply 36, is it 36? Times 2,200, what do you get? $79,000 what? 79,200? Yes. And then $58 times 100 is what? 5,800, Hubert. Okay, thank you, class. What else are they asking? Write an equation that states the amount received from the sale of $85,000. I think I did that, but it's kind of redundant what they're asking here, so let's just put what they're asking. I know we got the answers in the question somewhere, but the way they're asking the question is kind of like going around the world. Write an equation, okay, X plus Y. Nice work. V, really? 79,200, 79,200. Okay. Did we not do that right? I'm just going to hit yes because I don't know what they're asking.
You have to put the X. Like, wait, no. Put the X. So it would be 36.
Okay, they're asking you to build the equation. I'm sorry, I've done built the equation. All right, now representing the amount of money for Y tickets sold. So that'd be 58 Y.
58 Y.
My Lord. Okay. D. I'm not doing all that, people. We did it. That's how you do the problem, okay? I'm not doing all that. Y'all can figure that out. Okay? I'm not going to go through all that. Mr. Poore, you should have told me that's what they were asking for. Thanks a lot. Next question.
Please be mine.
I don't know which one it is. Let's see.
Go down to...
Go down. You want me to do this one?
No. One of those.
One of these?
Page. I think that one.
2.367/24.
Hold on. I think that's it.
Okay. A retail chain will buy 700 cordless phones if the price is $30 each, and 400 if the price is $60. Okay. A wholesaler will supply 950 phones at $50 each and 1,650 at $70 each. Assume that the supply and demand functions are linear. Find the market equilibrium point and find the what? Find where the two lines do what? Intersect. Now you just got to figure out how to make these two lines. 700 is equal to 30x plus 400y, or something like that. Let's see.
Oh, by the way.
Price $30 each, and 400 is the price is 60. The wholesaler will supply 950 phones at $50 each and 1,650 at $70 each. All right, take a minute, and you've got the equations almost right there in front of you. Go ahead and write it out.
What's that?
It's almost like you got 4 lines. So how you gonna do it?
I set it up just like the last problem.
Well, it looks like to me you gotta find the slope.
400, 700.
That's different numbers, right? Yeah. Find the slope. Retail chain will buy 700 cordless phones if the price is 300. If the price is 30. See, there's a X and a Y, and then there's an X and a Y. It's giving you a couple of X and Y's. If you need to, plot the points. Do that. Because sometimes it helps you if you plot the points. All right, let's take this guy right here. 700 cordless phones if the price is $30 each. Well, let's say the price is, price is here and demand is here. Okay? And 700 is $30. So 700, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. $100. And this is 10. Okay? Or 1,000. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 1,000. Okay, so 730. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. So that's 730. 700, comma 30. And then this one is 400 and what? 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody see where I'm going with this?
Yep.
Okay, now the other one, let's use it, let's make it a red line, and let's say a wholesaler supplies 950 phones, that's way out here, 950 at $50 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1650, that's way the heck out here, at what? 70. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1650 be out here somewhere. So I guess they're wanting to know where they're going to intersect. So you got the points. That's all that matters. So this right here is 950, 50, 950, 50. And this one is what? 1650 at 70. 1650, comma 70. So what I'm trying to show you is you've got basically what? 4 points. So find the what? Slope of the line. So let's do our black line. That's going to be 400, let's see, 700 minus 400. 700 minus 400, oops, over 30 minus what?
Wait, isn't that upside down?
30 minus 60. Yeah, it is, sorry. Try that again, thank you. Still going to be negative slope. 30, yes, 30 minus 60, thank you. 30 minus 60 over 700 minus 400. 700 minus 400, which is going to give you negative what? Negative 30 over 300, which is going to be negative 3 over 30, which is going to be negative 0.1, negative 1 over 20, or negative 1 over 10. Somebody check me.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to take 30 and 60, since it's, I'm going to take which one? 460, that's smaller. Y minus 60 is equal to negative 1/10 times x minus 400. And I'm going to solve that for y, and that's going to be my equation for my black line. And then the equation for the other line, in red, is going to be, let's see, 70 minus 50, 70 minus 50 over 1650 minus 950. 1650 minus 950. And that's going to be 70 minus 50 is 20. And 1650 minus 950 is 700. Somebody help me out there.
Yep.
And that's going to be 2 over 70. And 2 over 70 is 1 over 35. And then y minus 50 is equal to 1 over 35 times x minus 950. And there's the line, there's the equation for that line. Now solve those two equations for y, and then set them what? Equal to each other. My worms. Those were my worms.
Thank you. You took them.
So I'm going to erase this part. Pull this up. And solve it. That's going to be y is equal to negative 1/10 x plus 40, and then plus what? 60. Somebody check my math there. So that's y is equal to negative 1/10 x plus what?
100.
Plus 100, or 100, depending on where you're from. Clams on. And we'll solve the red. Y minus 50 is equal to 1/35 x minus, what's 950 divided by 35? You get an even number?
9. It
9.
comes out to be 17.
Comes out to be what?
Comes out to be 27 and 17.
Okay, forget that. Let's just do 950. Hold on. Minus 950 over 35. Mike can divide it by 5 or something like that. Mike can simplify it a little bit. But since we got to bring the 150, what's 35 times 50? 35 times 50 is what? 1750. So that's 1750 over 35. So we'll just leave it as 35 for right now. And that's going to be y is equal to 1/35 x plus, what's 950 plus 1750? Dang old 800? Y'all check me, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, no, it's negative.
What's negative 950 plus 1750? Is it 800?
800.
Okay, so now you've got these two to solve for each other. Or you could just put them in your calculator and tell me where they intersect. And I would much rather you do that, but we can go on and do it. I just got to clear space over here for it. If I was you, I would have put these points in your calculator to begin with. Then you could what? You could calculate everything. So, negative 1/10 x plus 100 is equal to 1/35 x plus, I don't know if that can be reduced or not, but 800 over 35. You probably get a common denominator of 35, might make things easier. So I'm going to change this to, well, 10 won't go into 35, so you'd have to make it 70. That's going to be fair no matter what. So let's just go ahead and bring this over. That's the smallest bucket, so I'm going to bring it over. So 100 is equal to 1/35 x plus 1/10 x. And then I'm going to bring this across the river, and that's going to be minus 800 over 35x. 800 over 35. Let's just get, I guess we're going to have to get a common denominator of 70. 70 is going to make that 70 to 2 over 70 x plus, let's see, that'll be what, 7 over 70 x, and then that's going to be 3,500 over 35 over 70. No, that's not right. 7,000, right? Yeah, y'all jump in here anytime y'all want to help, okay? 100 over 70. That's going to be 7,000. Okay, over 70. 7,000 minus 800 is going to be what? 6,200. 6,200. No, that's going to be 1,600.
Yeah.
7,000 minus 1,600 is what? 5,400. Somebody check me. That'd be 5,400. 5,400 over 70 is equal to 9 over 70. Divide by 9 over 70, multiply by 70 over 90. Hey, this looks good. Because 9 will go into 54. So 5,400 divided by 90. So that's going to be 540, which is 60.
Hang on. Where'd you
So
get 9?
x is equal to 60.
It would be 9, wouldn't it?
What?
It'd just be 9, not 90.
54 divided by 9 is 6. Where do you say 9?
Well, no,
Oh, 9.
there.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. I added a 0. Okay, so 9 into 5,400 would be 600. Thank you.
Yep.
Did all that math and I ended up dropping a 0 on the end. Sorry, or adding a 0. X is equal to 600. Now you can plug that back in. I don't know if they want to know. They just want to know, okay, 600. We got 600 phones, or what do we got? I can't remember what we got now.
Price.
I think we got 600 phones. Now we got to plug 600 into either one of the formulas. It doesn't matter. They're both kind of 600 minus 400 is 200. So that's going. Let's do that. So y minus 60 is equal to negative 1/10 times 200, 600, that'd be 200. And then negative what? Negative 20. So y minus 60 is equal to negative 20. Somebody help me out there. Plus 60 is equal to 40. So that's going to be 600 phones at 40 apiece. Now, as you can tell, it's a whole lot easier to do what? Put it in your calculator. Let's see what the answer is and see if I got it right, because I have no idea. My mind's about mush right now. Let's see, that's 400 or 600 at 40 per unit. And we feel good about ourselves. Oh God, now it's got another part. What is the correct interpretation? It's the correct interpretation. Somebody tell me which one it is. I can't even read it. Let's see. When the price is $40 equals the number of cordless phones supplied, which equals 600. I would say C. Would it be C? I'm looking at it. Not when 110. It's not that. I would say C, but I'm not a business major. Okay. There we go. So does that help you on that one? Was that the one you were asking about?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, it's 10:48. I'm going to give everybody one more day to finish their homework. The test is available now, but I'm not going to go over it today. I'm going to go over it Wednesday. Or, I'm sorry.
Tuesday.
I'm going to go over it Tuesday. So everybody go home, work on your test. You got all the homework. The homework is due when? Tuesday, midnight. Okay, I've already put all that up there. The test is open. If you want to go ahead and take it, knock yourself out, okay? But I will go over the test Tuesday. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And keep sending in those homework questions. I'll go over them Tuesday if I need to.
This is